Hey, Tripp here from trippadvice.com. I get a lot of questions on touching. I've done a lot of demos on touching before, and I get a lot of questions from my coaching clients who ask me about the escalation process. That's a fun keyword that's going around, especially back in the pickup days. Kino escalation, kino just meaning touch, and the whole bit of, starting with small touches all the way till you end up where you're having sex. Okay, so this whole process. And I want to be here on this video to debunk it a little bit. Something I've learned over the, and I used to teach this by the way, but something I've learned over the course of the years coaching and just in my own experiences is that you don't really need an escalation process, okay? Yes, you do need to learn how to touch a girl. That's why I created this video, and I'll be going over some cool stuff today. But you don't need that to be good with women or to get her attracted. A lot of the attraction happens when you're displaying your personality and when you're building tension with her and flirting with her and things like that. And then that results in you escalating further with physicality, and then that all kind of comes together. But you don't really need it to build attraction, if that makes any sense. Touching is the result of attraction. So when you're touching a woman, don't think of it as an escalation process. Think of touch as something that you would like to do in the moment. You're feeling like you want to touch her, right? So if you're on a date with her and things are going well, for example, you're going to want to go in for a kiss because that's what you want to do. Of course, barring the fact that she has to, say yes. So if she, pushes you away for a kiss or she doesn't consent to sex, you're not going to do it, right? But sex or touching is something that you're going to act on when you're feeling it in the moment when you are with a girl. So I actually have 5 examples of 5 different ways where touch is purposeful, and it's going to help you a little bit in terms of being better at touching, where it's not necessarily going to build attraction, but it will help and it will add to the whole process, because eventually, like I said, once you build attraction, it will get to that point. So what I like to talk about, and people make fun of this all the time, and go ahead, but I've done it before. I've taught clients how to do it. It works great. I learned this from an old pickup coach. His name was Magic. He taught this thing called the Seductive Handshake, and it works really well. And it just means when you first meet a woman, so this is not going to be necessarily on a date. This is more going to be when you first meet a girl, is you're going to extend your hand for a handshake to introduce yourself, and she's going to do the same thing. And what makes it seductive is you're not going to shake it like this, right? This is not a business meeting. You're not going to firm hold it. This is not you, trying to meet someone and do some sort of business. This is for you to gain a little bit of a connection. So you're going to touch her hand very softly, and you're going to look her in the eyes when you're doing it, and only a very minimal shake. And then you're going to repeat her name. So you're going to introduce yourself and say, hey, I'm Tripp. And she's going to say, oh, hey, I'm Stephanie. And you're going to say, Stephanie, it's nice to meet you. That makes it a little bit more seductive, looking her right in the eye, holding her hand, not shaking it vigorously, and doing it for about 2 to 3 seconds. Next, and this is one for when you meet a girl in a social setting, right? So at a party or a bar or something like that, what you're going to do is when you transition to the next place, so let's say you want to go to the bar with her and grab a drink, or you want to go outside because it's a little bit quieter. This is called isolation. You're going to grab her hand, you're going to say, hey, let's go. Or you're going to say, hey, grab my hand. So you're going to grab her hand, you're going to lead her out, and you're going to be the one who's doing this. You're not going to squeeze her hand too hard, just slightly enough so you're the one who's leading. Very sensual and a great way to at least break the touch barrier. Next is pulling her in for a kiss. Okay, pulling her in for a kiss. I want you to be firm with this one. When you go for the kiss, don't just stick your neck out and try to kiss her. Pull her in. You don't have to pull her in fast and hard, but at least be holding her and pull her in so it shows that you're in control. This is dominance. This is very sexy. Women like to be led like this. So you want to grab her hand or grab her by the waist and pull her in a little bit and kiss her, okay? Don't be timid about this. If you're going to go for the kiss, go for the kiss. If she doesn't want to kiss you, she won't. But if she wants to kiss you, she is going to love it when you're a little bit more dominant and in control when you're going for that kiss. So I highly recommend that you use this when you go for the kiss, whether it's a first time, second time, or 10th time. Even in my own relationship, I still do this. And also, I should say, I do it because I want to, not because I know it works. Of course, I know it works and it's sexy, but I like to do it. So all the things I'm telling you right now, only do them if they're authentic to you and it's something you want to do. Like I said, that's the most important part about touch. If you don't do it when you feel like doing it, it's going to seem robotic and it's going to work against you. Here's a good one. When you guys are finally hooking up, maybe for the first time, and again, even for the 10th time, pick her up and take her to the bedroom. Lead her there. You can pick her up. You can even do the handhold thing where you just kind of sit her up and you grab her hand and then you walk to the bedroom. But picking her up is just a really dominant masculine thing to do. Again, leading here. I have to say this, make sure you get consent when you're having sex. But at the very least, picking her up and taking her to the bedroom, as long as she doesn't say no, it's totally fine. But when you get to the point where you guys are actually having sex, you do want to ask for consent. So make sure you do that. But yes, this is another very sexy move. Another one, and now we're kind of escalating in this whole process, is hair pulling, okay? Hair pulling. Very sexy, and if you do it right, if you do it wrong, kind of a disaster, but I'll teach you how to do it right. If you do it right, it works very well, okay? And again, only do this if you want to do it. Don't do it because I'm telling you that a lot of women like it, okay? But basically, you're going to take your hand, you're going to run it through the back of her head, so you're very close to her forehead, and then you grab the back of her hair so it's firm, and then you just lightly tug it, okay? And you can do that during sex. You can do that when you guys are kissing, and women like that. You can do it when you're kissing. You can actually do that and kind of pull her neck back just ever so slightly, and then you can be kissing her neck. Again, have to be, very specific here. This is not about pulling the ends of her hair. That's gonna hurt. Imagine someone doing that to you, but imagine if someone gets a really close grip on the hair that's close to your head and you just do a light tug, it's not going to hurt so much. It's actually going to feel very good. I hope these helped you. Go ahead and write down in the comments which one you're going to try or which one you've already tried. Let's hear from you. They work very well. Remember, only do it if you're feeling it. Hope it helps, and I'll see you on the next video.